Okay, we just got done rebuilding our hubs here. So I got front and rear. So I gotta lace them up. So this is my front one. This one here is the rear one. The rear one's lacking a little bit of powder right there. I'll put a little bit of black paint on it before I assemble it, so it won't rust. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and see about putting the wheel together. So I got my brand new rim down here. Yeah, we had powder coated. It's been sitting on the floor for a while. This is my used rim. Actually, I think it's my used rim. Yeah, this is my used rim. I bought a new rim and then I found a used one. I figured an old used one's better than a new one. Alright, so this is a 16-inch by 4 inches wide. Now 4 inches not out here like dumbasses measure them. 4 inches bead to bead. You don't measure outside, you measure bead to bead. Dumbasses don't know anything. So when you measure rim, that's how you measure it. Just like the 16 inches is not, that's where the powder coat was low, it's right there. I know there's a bad defective area somewhere. You don't measure from outside to outside, you measure from the bead on the inside to the bead on the inside over here. If you measure on the outside, a 16-inch rim is actually 17 or a little above. So, dumbasses don't know squat. Okay, this, one reason I like this rim was because it has the old big-ass hole in it like it's supposed to have in a panhead. That's why I liked it. Okay, now this here, if you prefer this to be on the side that's not where the chain is, make sure you put your hub in there like that. Now if you want this to be on the side where it's hard to get to, then put it over here on this side like dumbasses would do, and do it that way. It's up to you. There's more than one way of doing these things. So I'm going to go this direction. Now for some reason these Star hubs have uneven hole sizes in them. So before I had this powder coated, I made the holes the same size on both sides. This is going to go on my drag bike with a sticky ass tire, basically a drag slick, but not quite. So I ordered up some special heavy duty spokes. Here are the heavy duty spokes. So these are Buchanan. These are stainless. So we have heavy duty, which is that number, and then we have standard duty, which is this one. HD is not heavy duty, HD is Harley Davidson. Even got a date when they made them, look at that. Okay, so the difference between these two is this one has a bigger spoke. So this down here is bigger than one in this spoke. One size bigger spoke. So, I don't know if you can see it, but this one is thicker. One size bigger. It makes them stronger. So, for racing applications, a lot of high torque, or if you're a 300 pounder on a rigid frame, the heavy duty spokes won't rip out and break through here like these ones will. Now I use a stainless spoke, not because they're weaker, which they are than steel, at least they should be. I use them because they don't rust. Plus, I don't like the looks of chrome all that much. So I prefer crappy ass stainless spokes. Now there's two ways of getting these things. You either get them as is, which is basically an acid polish that they don't even tell you about anymore. So they got a little slight sheen to them. Or you can pay extra and have them show polished. Or you can pay extra and have them bead blast, which would be like that. So the difference is this is bead blast. So you want your spoke to look really dull like that, you bead blast them. If you want them just like this, you run them like this. Now if you want show chrome looking spoke, you have to go all the way down here to the race bike, because we have to have the best stuff on my race bike, because I like to keep it nice and clean so everybody knows there's show chrome on everything. But underneath all this nice clean vehicle is a fully polished spoke. See how it looks like chrome? But that ain't chrome. It's polish. So now you want to know why I put show polished spokes on my race bike? I don't know. Good reason. They look better. They have less aerodynamic drag. Take your pick. Mainly they just look a little bit better. Okay. So this here is going to get laced. Now these get laced up in 4 different ways. The spoke can be on the bottom going that way, top can be that way, or that way. That's 4 different combinations. It doesn't matter which way it goes. These wheels will go together 4 different ways. It does not matter. What does matter is that you lubricate your spokes. And you got to make sure that everything fits into the hub and everything fits into the rim before you get too carried away. Okay, we need both hands, so we're going to go way up here and do this. Alright, hope you get a good view, top view, so you can see what's really happening. Bang my leg better too. Okay. Alright, now I need some tools. Two tools you need. I actually need 3. Oh, only 2. My other tool is missing. Wonderful. Now we use this one. Need a straight edge. That's a straight edge. Okay, this tool here, it's a 3-yard bit that's been cut and modified so it goes into a nipple without falling out. And back in the old days, they have straight slot nipples. These straight slot nipples. Harley now has Torx head nipples. And the aftermarket are 50-50. Some are one way, some are the other way. Now, I do not use chrome nipples because I don't want them to rust. I use stainless nipples. Now, when you run, I already had one out. Now, when you run stainless on stainless, they like to gall up and stick, weld themselves together. So you have to use a lubricant. Definitely got to have a lubricant. Okay, now this screwdriver here, the little titty goes into there, like that, and you can spin this thing without having it going side to side on you. It kind of keeps it centered on there. Now this screwdriver bit is very, very high mileage and very, very worn, so it doesn't stick in there like it should. Maybe another 5 or 10 years I'll fix it. For now, I don't care. It works. Now, you can use a couple different things on here for lubricant. Use a high pressure grease. I use Molly D cutting oil. That works too. You can use the junk that comes within a tube, or you can use Tribodyne grease. Now I haven't tried the Tribodyne grease yet, but I'm going to give it a try. With my butt. See, I won't use it on my wheel bearings, but I'll use it on my spoke nipples. Okay, this is very high pressure. It clings like crazy. It doesn't go away. It's better than anything else you're going to put on here. The stuff Buchanan's comes with is a kind of a real thick cutting oil. A lot of sulfur in it. It's a cutting oil. This is a specialty grease. So this little sucker's 130 bucks a tub, so you gotta make sure you want the good stuff. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this stuff, gray crap, I'm gonna put it on our nipple like that, or I mean our spoke, and we're gonna lubricate them threads like that. There you go. Now I'm gonna do that 40 times. You know why we're doing it 40 times? Because there's 40 spokes on a Harley. Okay, right now that one's done. So I go over and open the bag up. Go over here. Here's the grease it comes with. We're not using it. Here, if you read the instruction sheet, it talks about all that crap I just said. If it wasn't that one, it'd be this one. It might have been this one. This only got one-sided though, so if you read this side, it goes quick. It takes longer to get through this one. Feel free to read it if you want. Okay, now you got 40 spokes in this bag, or 20 spokes in this bag, and 20 on the other. Now this being a Harley wheel, and the real wheel, all the spokes are the same. Now if you have one of them stupid disc brake wheels, there's 2 different length spokes. The difference is not the overall length, the difference is the length of this right here. It's a little bit longer on one. Okay, And make sure you don't damage up your spokes there. Okay, I gotta grease up a bunch of these. If you overhang the grease on the outside edge there, it does not make too big of a mess. You don't have to have 100% coverage on your thread, but it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of coverage. At least 50% would be nice. If I'm using the oil, it's the same way. So you take a little bit of grease, stick it on your finger right there, stick it on the spoke like that, roll it around like that, and see it lubricates it pretty good all the way around. You don't have a lot of excess to make a big mess. See a big mess going there. There you go, that's plenty. It usually takes me about an hour to lace up a spoke. Put one of these wheels together. Because I like taking my time and do it correctly. So anyway, this is how you do it. Too much. Too much leads to waste. Waste means when you put it together, more of it comes out all over you. Some people call this manual labor. I don't know what the problem with manual is. It's always worked good for me. Now if you got those stupid gloves on, it's probably going to wear through, and you're going to wind up with this crap under the glove, inside your glove, and it's really going to make a mess, and it'll be hard to clean. So I'd recommend taking the stupid gloves off, and just getting that much on your finger, you have less cleanup. I hear that's the newest way of doing stuff. You can't be a mechanic without having those stupid ass pink gloves on. All the fashions of Harley mechanics. Oh, and I can't call them mechanics. Techs. They're all techs now. Not techs in, but techs. Different. Yeah. I'm just a dumbass mechanic, so if you want a tech, you have to go to a different video series. I'm sure those are out there. And I'm sure they really know what the hell they're doing, because there's probably a piece of paper on the wall that says they know what they're doing. So there you go. I don't have no paper on my wall. I use it in the bathroom where it belongs. But I do have my name in the record book quite a bit for land speed racing. That's the only paper I care about being on. But that's me. Oop. Now if you run the spoke into your finger, you're probably doing something wrong. You notice I've already done over half the spokes and I haven't cut myself yet. Here's a tip. See that edge right there? It's sharp. If you twist into your finger on an edge like that, you're probably going to cut yourself, dumbass. Keep the spoke flat and don't run the tip into your damn finger and you won't bleed. Usually if you're bleeding, you're doing something wrong. Now pain's a different story. You're supposed to hurt yourself a lot. Bleeding's cheating, you know. You don't want to be bleeding everywhere. That'd be what that one over here did. That's because I was a dumbass. And I haven't done anything yet to stop me from doing it again because I didn't fix the problem I did it the first time. Which makes me a double dumbass. Right on the verge of being a moron. That's okay, I can live with that. It pisses me off enough times, I'll fix it. It is fun. I keep cleaning my finger off by putting it on the spoke instead of all over my finger or my body. You only got one dirty finger so far. That's how it's supposed to be. And none of my tools are full of grease yet either. Oh, we're almost done. 2 more to go. Oh, we got 1 more to go. See, time it right, see I only got that much extra grease. Gone. You bring a clean rag, get the rest of the residue off. Yeah, we got no grease on my hands. Try it out with those stupid ass gloves. Okay, now we can go from there to the fun part. Okay, here's your bag and nippies. Don't lose them. Put them where you can find them. Make sure you read before. It says right here, read before. Maybe this one you're not supposed to put goop on them or something. Yeah. Make sure you read that. Slow it down, read it. Good, good, have fun. Put the knife away. You don't need to cut yourself with it. Might not cut anymore after all that scraping though. Alright. Now, there's different ways of doing this. You can put all the spokes in the bottom part of the hub. Spread them on a table where they belong and put the wheel down on top of it. You can put all the spokes in all of them, lay them all down, put the rim down on top of it. Or, being how you can put this thing together 4 different ways, just start wherever you want to and start putting spokes together. That's the advantage of this setup. Now, if you have a disc brake wheel, you have to put all the spokes in the hub. Now, this should all go in here because I modified it, but I haven't checked it since it's been powder coated. So you want to start with the bottom row of the hub. There, that one went in. Okay, so you either go this way or this way, whichever way you want to. It don't matter. Now you have to get to the part of the rim that goes to it. Now the holes in the rim are angled up or down. Obviously, we're on the high part of the hub. You want to be going up, not down. So stick the nipple in there, push on it, and you can see it sticking out over here. That's where the spoke goes in. See, right like that. Go in there a little ways. Leave yourself a good 1/8 of an inch of thread showing. Okay, boom. There's one. There you go. We only got 40 or 39 more to go. Okay, next one. Same spot. See how you can't put it in right now? It's hitting on that spoke, which means we got a problem. So go to the next hole. We'll have that problem again when we get over there, but we can ignore it for now. Now, if you want to put all of those spokes in right now into the hub, you wouldn't have this problem. Normally that's what I would do, but I'm showing you how to do it differently. Now make sure you keep turning around counterclockwise, whatever this direction of the nipple is. Now if you had the spoke going this way, you would turn it the other direction, obviously. Pretty straightforward. Now if you can't put the spoke in here because it won't go, don't get a big hammer and beat it out. Don't bend the damn thing. Go in the other direction. It usually goes in. Now if you want to know how all these spokes go over here, every fourth hole is where the nipple goes in. That's because you got 20 spokes on each side, and half go one way, half go the other way, so that's 10 each. 10 divided by 40 is, or 40 divided by 10 is how much? Can you count this high? There, hidden finger. Trick question, right? Now this one here, we got the covers in our way. That's going to be a problem. Luckily it fit through without it being too big of a problem. Now if you put some of these nipples over here, you don't have to keep crossing over to get to them. So leave about an 1/8 inch of a spoke exposed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and blow this up a little bit better. Maybe you can see better, I don't know. There, we'll get too big because it'll get too confusing. Yeah, I can't get the camera where I want it. Close enough. Alright. So we just keep going down around the hole here. Now remember, I had to open the holes up on one half of this hub. I don't know which half it was. And these are extra thick, so this makes it bind up more, which means things have to be more accurate. Hopefully it's not going to be a problem. See how it won't go on that side? No, it goes on this side. Now you notice I didn't put none of that stupid ass, crappy ass tape everywhere. What a pain in the ass that shit is. Do your job correctly and you don't scratch things up. See, angle the hub, keep it away from the rim, and you don't have that problem. Put the spoke in there correctly and it fits in, see? Notice how these are high quality spokes. The spokes and nipples actually go together, unlike aftermarket crap, which means China or Taiwan. China's even worse. There's usually 3 or 4 that will not thread together, so I have to throw the spoke away. So I got almost a full set of junk spokes now. At some point I'll be eating a full set of spokes. Expect to have problems with aftermarket parts. There's a reason why they're called custom, because they fit something but nobody knows what they are. Alright, now we got one left. This one here. Okay, see how it fit? Remember, find a spot the nipple goes up. You go over here, see it goes down. If you go over here, it goes the wrong direction. So there's only one that goes correctly. You see they line up pretty close. I don't know if you see that from the top view, but hopefully you can. Okay, see that can go, you can bend this around a little bit, but it's supposed to be this way. Okay, make sure you get it all nice and pulled in straight. See how it's going to work. Now, for some reason these spokes look like they're way too long. So I'm thinking this rim is not going to work for us here. This might be a 15-inch rim band, in which case means it ain't going to work. We'll find out pretty quickly on that one. Okay, now this is the next row. Goes in the hole. Okay, whichever direction these are going, this goes the other way. Find the hole it goes into. Now we're supposed to be doing a cross 4 pattern. It's a Harley. So we got 1, 2, 3. There's a problem here. We're supposed to be going over there. We're way over here. So something's wrong. That's probably why these spokes are so long, because we need to get more pin out of it. We're not getting a spin. Probably because these damn spokes are so stinking fat. So this thing needs to get way the hell over here. See how we're not even getting near it? We don't have enough flexibility to get over that far. So we got a problem here. This is not going to work. So even though I want to use these fat spokes, they're not fitting in this hub. So, what am I going to do about it? First thing to do is get rid of that. Yeah, so the problem is the angle of the dangle is wrong. See, the head of the spoke is so big it won't let it come into the hole, which is keeping us from getting the angle we want. So we need more angle, but we don't have it. See, we're bottomed out in the nipple here. We're not bottomed on the thread, and the nipple's over here where we belong. We're inside the spoke. So this is called a problem. And the problem is me, because I'm using a big ass spoke, which I still want to do, obviously, because I'm racing. I don't want to rip out the dinky ass spokes. So, see how we're hitting right here on that side, but we're not hitting on this side. So we need to get more angle out of it. Now, how are we going to get more angle out of it? I don't really want to come in here and try to chamfer the hole any bigger on the hub. So what else can we do to make it work better? What I'm thinking is I can bend the spoke more of an angle on the spoke. Instead of being 90 degrees like they are, or close to it. See, they're not even 90 degrees. These need to be more than 90 degrees. So instead of the spoke being here, it needs to be over here. So I need to bend this further. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. I haven't had this problem before, so having some issues here. Of course, it's Friday night at 11:30 on the dark side. See, it's dark out there. Alright, so I can't call anybody at this time of day or night. Call up Buchanan and see if they can make me a set of spokes that has more curve to them, which I'm sure they'll tell me what I can do. Because even though they say they make these, I bet you they're made overseas. Alright, so... Alright, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do here. If you go up higher, more offset. See, that doesn't work too well. We want more offset. Okay. Alright, I'm going to play a little bit, try to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all these spokes out so I can play with just one at a time here, or at least one, maybe only two. But I'm thinking I'm going to bend the spoke. I don't want to go hogging a hole out in the hub a lot. I'd have to hog out the whole side of this hub over here, which is going to be really, really hard to do. I'd have to redo it, take all the hub apart. Plus, it would destroy the powder coat. I'm thinking of bending the spoke to a different angle would probably be the best way of going, because right now the spoke's going here. I need to be over here. So if I put more angle on that, that should do the trick. So I guess the thing to do is go grab a spoke and try to figure out how am I going to hold this to bend it. Or I got to slip this over something and bend it around it. Got to be the other way of doing it. That might be the easiest way of doing it. I don't know. I got to think of something. Alright, we'll be back. Okay, I'm looking this over here. So this sub over here I did not modify. There we go. This has the small holes in it. I just want to try to use it for mock-up, and it won't let me bonk up because the damn holes are too stinking big. Or too small, I mean. So, see, it won't even go in the hole. No way. Won't even go in there. Okay, so I did have the correct hub over here by mistake. 50-50, I had the right one. Alright, so this one here is got a nipple on it. This one here we have the we have it fully tightened up as far as it'll go here. And then I put the hub in the center of the wheel, which is about here. Guessing somewhere about in this area. Looks pretty centered, I think. You can see how the spoke is way over here. I put the next spoke in. I push my finger on the back side of it. Get up in there. Okay, I put the thing up in there. So now I'm pushing with my finger on the back side over here, which means the nipple is pointing the way it wants to go. So look at the angle, the tangent angle of the spoke coming across the hub, and look what the bend of the spoke is. See how they're not even close? So that spoke has got a huge angle problem. It should be rotated this direction, so it's straight here. We're over here right now. We need to be rotated this direction. So you can see that the spoke's not going to stay put here. So try to hold it. Let's see if I can hold it with something. Nope, can't hold it. Alright, use my other. Yeah. Anyway, this tangent line is the line from this line going this way, intersect with the way the hub is. Whatever angle the hub is at, depending on the rotation where you're at. See how my finger changes as I go around? That's a tangent. The spoke and this need to be on the same tangent line to pull correctly. And to do that, this spoke has to be bent over 90 degrees, not under 90 degrees. So it needs to be bent further around. So the thing is, how in the hell are you going to do that? So what I'm thinking is, if I take a piece of bar stock, put a hole in it, drop the spoke into it, and then cut a groove in the top of it, that will be more than 90 degree around. I can just take the head of the spoke and beat down on it, and it'll come down. That's one thing I think of doing. I can put in a hydraulic press and push on it, on this on the outer edge here. I don't think that would flatten it out too bad. I don't know. Ideally, you'd have just a big lead hammer, but you'd have to hold it down to do that. So yeah, that's the one I can think of bending it, really. If you try to put this in a vise and bend it on a sharp edge, you're going to put a crease in it, and it's going to be a defective area. It's going to want to break the spoke off, and it will over time, especially if you're beating on it like I am. You'd be better off to put the stock spokes in there than do this if you're going to try to do that one. So, I'm not sure I'm going to make that, so I'm going to go try to make something and see what'll happen. But that's what I got to do. I got to put more bend in the spoke. I don't know if these are made wrong or what. All I know is they don't fit. So we're going to make them fit. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit.